buy you one.
Okay, you guys can't talk. Alright. Alright, if you are a parent and your children want to play violent video games or they are currently playing violent video games, then you should hear this. According to Rachel Barclay stating in the article published in 2018, do video games make kids saints or psychopaths? More than 90% of games rated E for everyone, teen or mature, have some kind of violent imagery, and that fun is often portrayed as justified fun and without negative consequences. I know you know someone or have children that play violent video games or want to play violent video games. Today I'm going to be talking about how violent video games don't make you violent and they don't make you commit violent crimes. Violent video games are often a scapegoat for violent behavior and violent crimes. Mass shootings are often linked with violent video games. Games like Call of Duty are heavily linked with mass shootings. If you're not familiar with Call of Duty, it is a game about war. You operate guns, and the objective of the game is to kill the other team as many times as you can. Whoever does that is the winner. It's easy to blame these types of games than talk about the real problems. Violent games are blamed when gun control should be talked about, and mental illness also should be talked about. People like politicians like to hide behind the violent video games because it's an easy thing for them to hide behind. We should be spreading awareness about mental illness. Mental illness is not always an easy thing to talk about. Mental illness is the cause of these violent crimes and violent behavior, not violent video games. Also, another thing we should be spreading awareness about is the gun control. Gun control is a very popular, controversial topic in this country, since this country is so pro-gun. It's easy for the politicians to use violent video games as a scapegoat. According to Andrew Limbong stating in the article published in 2019, video games are still blamed for gun violence, despite studies showing no connection. If you're going after a kind of boogeyman, it makes sense to go after a boogeyman that doesn't have a lot of political power behind it. So if you're a politician and you want to look like you're doing something, whether you're a Republican or Democrat, it's easier to go against video games because the game, they don't have that political backing, like things like the National Rifle Association, that would be difficult to go up against. Violent video games are constantly the easy scapegoat for them, and they do not cause violent crimes and violent behavior. Video games bring a lot of benefits. Video games help with social skills and communication skills. Video games nowadays are very online oriented. You're able to play with friends, strangers from all around the world. This helps with people who may be introverts, people who are very shy and aren't able to communicate in the real world like we are, like we can. People with disabilities, it also helps with people who are not able to go out in daily life and move around like we do. It gives them a friend group, people to confide in. Video games also helps you prep for future careers. Video games nowadays are very strategic, a lot of fast thinking, fast decisions. Careers look for problem solving. Playing video games can help with that. It also helps for careers in the video game field as well. According to Adam Uzi Alco, stating in the article published in 2021, game over, not quite. Playing video games can help your career. One of the most common statements parents say to their children is sitting in front of video games all day will not help you later in life. As it turns out, playing video games may lead to some very rewarding careers. The video game industry has changed dramatically over the years, and modern video games are quite technical and interactive. If you are a dedicated gamer and are considering a career, there are many to choose from. Video games have been very rewarding for people who have chosen it as a career. Things like esports throughout the years have grown drastically. Esports, if you're not aware, it's professional gaming, essentially. There's different leagues for different types of games. People who have dedicated their lives to these games have made a living off of them by playing professionally. Also, if you don't play the games, you can also get into things like game design and commentary for those professional games. Streaming has also blown up throughout the years. People like to watch other people play video games. To wrap things up, I encourage you to allow your kids to play the games they want to play. I hope after knowing this information, you will allow your kids to enjoy and experience the great video games that are out there. Thank you.
Did you get it enough time?
We're still recording.
So the NRA is saying that video games.
All right.